back to Odd Cylinders, and today I'm going to show you how to install some different trans mounts on your Audi D2. So, thought my factory mounts were fine, but after driving with a 6-speed for a couple weeks, there's some slop in the drivetrain. Could be trans mounts, could be the rear diff mount. Got the rear diff on order, so decided same time let's do the trans mounts. So factory trans mounts, energy suspension, GM mount, I believe, and then an 1.25" aluminum adapter here, and then I've got a 7/16 by 14 by 2.5 inch bolt, I believe. So you got to use this backing plate. That's not a spare part, it's part of it. So as you can see, that's now the right height. And those holes happen to line up too. So this will slide right in to the factory mount. You know, the 1.5" by 1.25" inch long aluminum spacer there. Since these do kind of get close to the exhaust, and these are polyurethane, I am going to wrap these in some heat shield. So I'll show you how I do that. I did a similar thing on my UrQuattro because you can use some energy suspension Mustang mounts as engine mounts, and since that gets close to the downpipe, I wrap that too. So I will show you how to do this, and like I said, GM energy suspension mount, I will put the link in the description below. These are like $30 on Amazon. Take some of this Thermotech fiberglass heat shield. It's got an adhesive backing. Wrap it around. It doesn't stick to the poly well, so I use these stainless steel zip ties. These are good for heat shield, you know, heat wrap, kind of anything you want a nice durable zip tie on, but stainless steel one. So I got a bunch there. I use this little tool. I'll also put these in the description below. Here's the trans mount. So GM trans mount for rear-wheel drive cars and two-wheel drive trucks. Part number 3.1108G. Like I said, $30 or so on Amazon in the link below. So I'll do this for both of them. I'll show you how to install. Quick note on these plates. So you need to trim about a 1/4 inch or so. Not much. Just kind of shave off 2 of those corners there. It slightly hits on the little bracket around the frame there. So just a quick little note. Not much. And all installed. Fit really well. So I did have to grind a little more off of there. No, sorry. So yeah, you can see where you have to clearance. So this little part of the subframe gets in the way. Do that on both sides. But other than that, should work like a charm. And yeah, here you can see how, you know, it's an 1.5" or so away from the exhaust, so helps to have that little bit of heat shrink there. now to go test drive and see how much this helps. So just a quick update on the trans mounts. So I had thought that I was having issues with them, and I had this clunk when I would shift, and turns out that wasn't the trans mounts. It's actually the rear diff. Well, the rear diff mounts. So I've got a solution that I'm working on for that. The energy suspension mounts, trans mounts, do work fine. There is a little more NVH. So especially starting out in like first gear and reverse, you hear a lot more of the gear whine, but the shifts are nice and firm minus the rear diff clunk. But since I think my original mounts are fine, they weren't leaking when I pulled them out, I'm probably going to put them back in, just because I want it quiet, I want it comfortable. So even though it's maybe not as firm, the gear noise I'd prefer to do without. It's not terrible. Most people are probably just totally fine with it, but I'm just picky like that. So I'm gonna put the stock ones back in, but it's still, since the mounts are so cheap, it still totally makes a lot of sense for a lot of people that don't have good trans mounts. I probably won't show you taking them back out, but stay tuned for a solution for the rear diff mounts.